Good morning, Miss America, and all the other trucks on the road in this early hour. My call name is Gonk, and we'll be talking about my new girl. Over. Y'all better lock them doors manually. Open the truck door to turn off the light down low. Come on, baby, roll up the window nice and slow. It really turns me on just to fucking floor it. Everyone give a nice round of applause to my fifth vehicle and first ever truck. Well, shoo! It's also my first V6 and rear-wheel drive vehicle. Boy, that shit feels different on gravel, let me tell you. Different in general, too, from my previously custom ass and four-banger Hondas. And I get why having a truck is just superior, especially a small one is this little quarter-pound pickup, but hold my beer on that subject proverbial coaster for later. Out of all the three S-10 truck bodies, no, we are not going to mention the Blazer, except for one more time. These episodes are for trucks right here, and there were three. Those three that we are considering today would be the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. There was the regular cab, and it's alright if you're alone in life. I mean, you can carry a third person, but unless it's a girl, you'll end up shifting something you regret shifting. Trust me, the most awkward hour-plus drive back home I've ever had. Then, of course, you can be smart like me, and you can get the extended body. You'll get a little bit more room for the boom if you're catching when I'm dip spitting. The extended body had a couple different options you could go with. Some came with 2 seats or 1 seat and a third door, which is flippin' awesome for getting your shit out the back when you've already been at the customer's house for 3 hours and you still haven't gotten the agreement, and they keep bouncing you back and forth between all the different packages, and they just saying, "Oh, I don't even know if I want it. Why'd you call us out then?" A buddy from high school, no, we're not friends anymore. They actually formally kicked me out of the friend group that existed since kindergarten, but that's its own video. He had his own S-10 with 2 seats in the back where you faced each other, and those things sucked more ass than I had to sit on them with. You can use the little back area to hide beer bottles, but I took the road less traveled by and kept it filled with top-of-the-line military-grade security equipment. I would show you a photo of this, but I no longer have the truck, so the gear is in a different vehicle that y'all will see later. The final body model would be, it's the 4-door. I'm really not a big fan of it. It's just so much door and such little bed. And that's coming from a guy who thinks one of the greatest trucks ever made is the Subaru Baja. It just doesn't work with Chevy. I even like their Avalanche. For this small vehicle, it looks like it just reminds me of one of those little thick, furry, widow-ass Caterpillars. It's just, I'll be a damn Blazer. Okay, and that's the last time I'll mention the Blazer and all that nonsense. Isuzu Hombre is a cooler name, though. I kind of like that. Just like how any dynasty goes down the toilet by the 3rd generation, we have 3 generations of the Silverado's little brother. And like all American car companies, there's an identical one, but slightly nice. I wish the GMC version would have stayed, being called the S-15 in lieu of the 91 change to the Sonoma, but I guess GM needed something other than the grille and the tailgate to differentiate the two models. Still appropriates parts from Chevy like GMC appropriated the names Denali and Sonoma from the natives, so, I guess it's alright. These trucks, of course, stem from the beloved Chevy love, and I just really want to get my hands on one day. They're so perfect in the small truck world. First gen S-10 was from 82 to 93 and was square. Just a little rectangle. Second gen ended up having the most amount of variety in her overall styling due to Chevy and GMC changing their own faces on all the trucks and vehicles throughout the time period. There was the rounded square headlight where you see the initial movement into the 90s smoothness, but they're still resting on their 80s square laurels. I'm a big fan of seeing how vehicle generations can change from to cool to neutral to weird. Honda's changed an incredible amount, and she's climbed up and down the ladder, and these little trucks went from throwaway scrap haulers to pretty beastie little off-roaders, drag trucks, and almost anything you want to make out of them. Double over headlights came out in 98, paving the way for the early 2000s, and my personal favorite Chevy face for any vehicle, S-10, Silverado, Tahoe, you name it. I don't care, they look good, way better than that Bobcat, angry headlights, to steal a little bit from regular car reviews. They're just fantastic, but guys, you gotta go check them out after you listen to this. But man, with the rest of the vehicles that were made during the time period, the Fords looked awful. Fuck Ford. America never got the 3rd gen, and I bet you didn't think there was a 3rd gen. Well, I didn't either, and I wish I hadn't seen it. It's appalling. It's an absolute shame unto the Lord. As Americans got fatter, GMC needed a bigger small truck. Yes, as ridiculous and as stupid as that sounds, they needed a larger, smaller truck because Americans just... The Colorado has since taken the place of the S-10, which is now is also kind of taking the GMC natural naming. Like Chevy did kind of numbers and stuff for the smaller vehicles, but whatever. I don't know. Tahoe, Sonoma, Denali, it's all silly. It's a personal side note. I really care about how a company's lineup looks long term. When I look back, I want to be utterly disappointed as little as possible when it comes to seeing what a company made or did. You know, Volkswagen, Hitler. And just like I do when I think back on my past actions. Any girl I've ever dated. If a company puts out crap for a long time, Nissan, Chrysler, I'm going to consider that when thinking about brands and what cars for myself and other people to get. I don't like the Colorado, but man, the S-10 is awesome. It's just small enough, but just big enough. Just about every dude has had a story with one where they're just straight bulling with some friends, so I don't know how anyone can really hate the little thing. Anywho, I don't care about the rest of the models. We're here to glorify my Charlotte the Chevrolet, which I keep misspelling, but autocorrect thankfully fixes. She was sold brand new for $24K, give or take, back in '99, being the last year. Why do each of the decades in the 1900s all have a personality, but everything since then has just been a gray blob that continued to scream just a little louder with each passing year? She got the Vortec 4.3-liter V6, and y'all already saw the memes, so I get to basically go vroom and just watch the gas tick down slowly. Also, the fuel light does not work in my truck. Found that out the hard way. Thank you so much, Mom, for picking me up. Got home at 2, would have been hammered with the boys and hanging out with them by 3, but no, Charlotte's thirsty again. It's every day with this bitch. Filling her up, that is, but, I mean, I do put around 250 miles on her every 2 days. 265.4 miles to the fuel tank and not a frickin' foot more. I was pissed, but not as pissed as I am having to fill it up as often as I do, especially since the tank is small as it is. I'm at my most agreeable when the tank is full, so if you need me, wait till I come back from the gas tank. For the amount of off-road ass-kicking she does, giving her size and everything all considered, I'm really not too upset with the 17 city and 22 highway MPG. I mean, it ain't terrible, but it sucks compared to the 300 miles to the full tank for a $22 Henrietta. So what I'm used to certainly does put this in is just the worst thing ever. But what I currently have is somehow even crazier, but even better for gas, and we'll talk about in the next video, of course. Average fuel tank trip is about, $23 to $28, and that's kind of what I'm paying already now in the new vehicle, but I get more because technology. But depending on how desperate I truly am, I can get it even cheaper if I can scrape it by to the nearest gas station that's got that little discount on my card for me. Then again, I haul infinitely more stuff and ass while doing it than I had in the past, so, I'm pretty thankful for all that. 5 bros here to talk about the 5-speed manual. That would have been really cool and fun to have in the truck, but with how much I have to drive from each job in all these different neighborhoods, having to pull up the tablet, pull out my phone, jerk off, eat and drink, all these different things, occupy hands, and I only have, so many. So, the automatic's okay in this situation. Would have gotten awfully tiring. That's more of like a, weekend thing I want to have. She makes 190 American painted plains ponies at 4,400 RPMs, which she gets to reasonably quickly. I mean, it's only one, whole thing is shaking like a mofo as I go into what I call liftoff mode while I cross the state border every day. Torque is around 240, 250 at 2,800 RPM, which, will really make you slip and slide around the place with that one wheel leaving a bigger skid mark than the one in your britches after coming out of the turn. Her curb weight is almost exactly that of my second grade teacher at 3,747 pounds or 1,700 kilograms. She is 1,622 millimeters or a cute 5'3" tall babe. She's an Amazon lying down there at 16.94 foot and 5,164 millimeters. Wheelbase is 3,122 millimeters. Originally I had in here that will change, but I don't have this vehicle anymore. Or of course 10 feet basically. Finally, her width is 5.6 feet or 1725 millimeters. No, we didn't have any 6'9" measurements, hopefully in the next vehicle. Besides you seeing that I have a open and ready to go seat at any moment, my redneck buddies already know that trucks are the bestest cause getting work done and plowing the field and then plowing the wife if she provides informed and continuous consent, but you gentlefolk may require proof or a convincing argument. So here's none of that. 1. You have less cabin, even in a 4-door, to heat/chill, so you're more comfortable quicker while ideally sitting on the second point, bench seats. My Biak had these, but nicer, duh, you big dummy dum-dum. What do you think the point of the Biak brand is? But nowadays, most plastic interior machines of today's disappointing tomorrow are always separated by some shitty shifter. They're like those courting chairs, that you can sit next to a person with, but there's still a divider, so you can't hold their ass like a bowling ball while you watch Harry Potter and the Order, the most boring movie in the franchise, while her younger brother is in the living room. Third point is that trucks are rear-wheel drive, so once you get them on some LSD or some of the most limited of slip differentials, you get a little something. 4, you can go off-road unless you're a pussy who can't get their chrome dirty. I want a damn GMC Sierra Denali specifically for being as bourgeois as possible in the bois, that is, woods. And finally, as a truck, it's just more versatile than an SUV. SUVs are trucks, but I hate it when people call them trucks. No, the Tahoe is not a truck. It's a stupid old brick. But a truck with a camper shell beats a wagon, even though wagons are cooler. And spacing-wise, Charlotte is equal with a sedan. So, basically, truck beats SUV. And if sedan not good enough, go truck. Truck too big, go sedan. At the end of the day, it's all about what you need, but it's more than that. It's about being thankful for it. And I'm thankful every time I have to fill her up because that means that she and I are both still kicking. Always count your blessings and say thank you. Thank y'all. Special thanks to Jazzy J for helping me film this all the way back in December at our, I can't believe I'm saying this, our alma mater, dude, alumnus. I don't want to make it a habit of reviewing cars that taking so long that I end up no longer having the thing, because I would have liked to include more, but whatever. Having not had Charlotte for a month now, has been kind of crazy, just in the new vehicle, which I can't wait to talk about. But I bought some truck parts to make her face prettier back in the day, and they came after I got rid of her. So let me know if anybody in the comments needs headlights and a grill. Can't wait to show you all the new car in the next review. And that's right, it's a car.